let me remind you, there was a question on mentorship. There was a question on how do we inspire hope amongst the young. And then there was a question on are you hopeful or in despair? And there was a date.
It's a free country.
It's a free country. In parts. This part of the country is free.
Just on mentorship, I really think that mentorship is important. Just having somebody that you can talk to. When I look at my younger self, I told you that I feel that there were significant parts of my career that would have turned differently had I been a bit more patient. And generally, if you have somebody in your circle that does not try to give you answers, but can ask questions, the best mentors listen and they ask questions and you make your own decisions. I think that really is important. I wish I had a strong mentor. So at the moment, I don't have a mentor, but I have a shrink that I see from time to time. Because by the very nature of the work we do, you're under significant pressure. Sometimes you develop a sense of blind spots in your life, or you clog up the arteries of your mind and your heart. And I think it's important to look after your mental health. So I do see a shrink from time to time. I haven't been as disciplined in the last little while because I've been traveling a lot. I encourage everybody in the room, at least 3-4 times a year, see a shrink. Not because you're sick, but because you want to talk to someone who will not be judgmental, someone who's experienced, someone who will help you, whether it be something truly personal or it be something that relates to career. It's absolutely important. So what we do at Investec, we have a mental health capability to support our colleagues, and we have a huge mentoring program that goes up to the executive. We pay for mentors and we pay for mental health. I encourage everybody to do that. I try to mentor people, but I run all over the world, so sometimes it's a bit difficult. With respect to hope, and the two questions are related, it's hard to be hopeful if you wake up in Alex in a crowded place, and sometimes there's no parent to even try and give you hope. It's hard, and you just have to accept it. And one of the most important things we have to do as a country is get to a place where the young lose any hope, because then we have no country to live for. So the work you do, the work that we have to do, is to continue to find pathways for hope. Entrepreneurship helps, but in my world, I prefer for kids to get a minimum level of education and a minimum level of experience before they can go out on their own. In my own life, I went out completely on my own at 40 because I had gained a lot of experience. I do understand that not every career will be like that. So everywhere we can sow a seed of hope, whether it be through helping somebody with a bursary or helping them with counseling or just giving them a sense of hope or giving them some advice on how they could have a business to sustain themselves, even though it may be subsistence. That element of giving hope is really important. Entrepreneurship beyond a scale requires a lot more skills, I think. But we have to do a lot about township economies as well. There's a guy who runs ShopRite who probably knows the most about townships in the country, Peter Erasmus. He has a business that deals with payments. He can tell you how a tin of coffee gets fractionalized in the 4th month, where somebody buys a tin of coffee and they can sell teaspoons of coffee in terms of fractionalization. We have to understand much deeper these business models to try to give a bit more hope. But it's a long topic, a long discussion. On the contrary, if you are not a little scared about the country, there's something wrong with you. Because our trajectory is not good at all. But here's the mindset that I take. My mindset is that we have to get to a point where we know we're on a burning platform, that we have to do something and do it urgently. Our current leaders in many spheres of life don't act like we are on a burning platform and that the fire is coming towards us unless we douse it. So as an individual, as a person, as a business person, we try every single day to douse the fire, to have rays of hope as we go. So the first thing we have to do, and I know I'm 61 and I repeat myself, register to vote. That's the first thing that can create a level of hope. Once we've done that, load shed some of these useless politicians. Load shed them. Stage 8. Take them out. Get younger people in. We are governed by guys in their late 60s and some in their 70s. No ideas about how the world works. I'm actually getting a bit too old at 61 myself. So we need to try and just be civic and be active in everything we do. I think this election is important to scrape these guys out of their boots and in some cases load shed them. Get more younger people like Zibi and others. They have no constituency though, but they are better at their thinking in terms of how we can move the country forward. 29 will be critical because if we don't get it right then, you get to a tipping point where you can easily deteriorate into a Zimbabwe, where the courts don't work, where the economy doesn't work unless you are in bed with Mnangagwa and his cronies. We can't get there. So each one of us has to do something about it. So scared at times, but not without hope.